Oh, what is happening? Okay, we are back at it again. Alright. Um, yeah, so I don't really know how to start the video again, but, in my last video, I built this house, and this pathway and these two bridges, and, I want to keep this one relatively short, and so I was thinking maybe making a dock area somewhere over here, because, I mean, all of this could be turned into a whole like fishing market and stuff, and I think that would be cool. So I think I'm gonna get started on that. And I didn't really think of a topic for today, really. But I think I want to talk about being mentally drained. And that is a thing that I know a lot of people go through because I've had friends, be drained all the time. Myself, I'm usually very drained, actually. Usually, on a daily basis. And, I think, honestly, I really think that it, it can be many different things that cause it. I'd say probably, depression, of course, struggles in your life, or just things going on, and um I think honestly I just want to share my experience with it, because for the longest time I've had to deal with so much pain and just being drained all the time, not really wanting to do anything, and I think it's something a lot of people go through, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I'm feeling pretty drained today. I wasn't planning on making this until around maybe 20 minutes ago, but I just got home from school, and you know, things are hard sometimes. I'm still dealing with a breakup currently, and it's hard for me to process the information so much, but that's honestly not the only thing that's causing me to be drained. My depression, of course, is also a problem, but I think if you do not know what I'm talking about, basically being mentally drained is essentially not wanting to do anything or talk to people, or not feeling the greatest. And my one friend, my really good friend, he has to deal with this daily too, so I know I'm not the only one. And it's very odd, I'd say, because people will be drained sometimes for no reason, including myself. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I think people honestly don't realize how hard it is to, be depressed and have problems with this, because for me personally, it'll get to a point where I just don't want to even like talk to my closest friends or anything. I just want to lock myself in my room and do nothing but sleep. And I just feel tired of everything. And I know that's similar for a lot of people. My good friend included. And it really sucks, dude, because I feel like it's usually not deserved at all. And I don't know everything that causes it, but I do know that it's not a fun thing to deal with. And my life for the past 2 years has been a constant cycle of being happy for a certain period of time and, being, drained for a good amount of time. And, I think, personally, it usually happens, honestly, daily for me. And most of the time it's to do with my stress because of all relationships that I have with people, homework, expectations from people, and just overall stress. And for me, it's also pretty difficult because I'm not a very productive person. I struggle to manage a lot of things at one time, which, may be different for some people, but for me, that's the way it is. And I constantly feel like I'm not doing enough sometimes, which is something that causes me to be drained. And another thing can be not getting enough sleep or being judged by people, but I already made a whole 50-minute video about that one if you want to go check that out. And I feel like a lot of the things that make me feel this way have to do with other people. And so I feel like sometimes it's not just out of nowhere, but a lot of the time it is. And I mean, another thing with it too is you may think it's for no reason, but a lot of the time it's just not, you're just not able to process it or think about what's actually the problem, which is what happens for me. But I think, honestly, the most difficult part is not being able to, have fun with things and do things that either people want you to do or in the past you may have wanted to do. And it really ruins your mental state. Because for a long time, I have gotten drained every single day, actually. And for me, I feel like I'm kind of different sometimes because it doesn't always affect me, but it just really sucks wanting to be able to do something or have fun or talk to people, but you just can't. And I understand that that's also a problem for a lot of other people too, which, you know, makes perfect sense. But I'm kind of confused with it because I have dealt with this for so long that, you know, you would think I would learn how to deal with it by now and be just happy, but it's a difficult thing regardless of how long it's been. It's a difficult thing to get through, and I mean it usually comes in waves for me, so it doesn't last forever, but it usually takes a very long time for me to feel like myself again. It takes weeks, even months sometimes, to start feeling, you know, somewhat happy again. And for me it usually happens after something in my life significantly happens, like a breakup, for example, which is what's happening now. And I know, I'm sure I'll get over it eventually, but in the current state that it is, I'm just going home every day, just not wanting to talk to people or do anything. Or, you know, like sometimes I have to force myself to get on here and do this type of stuff and talk to people. But one thing I can say from my experience is that sometimes, no matter how much you're no matter how much you're going through it in the moment, it's always good to, you know, go and do things regardless of whether you're feeling up to it or not. Because almost every single time for me, I've found that just going and doing things, regardless of whether I'm feeling like it or not, it usually always I always end up having a good time. And I don't know if other people can relate to that or anything, but that's just how I feel about it. Honestly, I don't know what to build next. I want to build one more thing because I don't think I'm done with this topic, but I don't know what to build. Maybe a fishing hut, and I might add stuff on top of the bridge. Alright, yeah, I'll do that. But as I was saying, I feel like it's always good to just do things regardless of whether you're feeling up to it or not. And for me, that's not always the case. It's not always the best decision to do that. But being around people in your life who you know and who you trust can help a great amount. Because other people, just being around other people with positive energy can completely change your mood. And even if you're not feeling like happy or, you know, just feeling a little off at some points, it's always good to talk to people. And for me, that means talking to some of my friends or playing a game with them or something that is just really simple. And another thing with that too is it can sometimes, you know, just get your mind off of whatever you're thinking about. And it's it's not a permanent solution by any means, but it's a good temporary way to deal with stress and anxiety and pain. It really works a lot of the time. I can't say that it's the same for everyone because I really don't know. But from my experience and from some of my friends' experiences, it's usually pretty helpful to talk to others and just get through it. And for some people, it's not that way. I know someone who's like that, and I feel like I really learned that it's not that way for everyone because I tried to get them to talk to me and they didn't want to, yet I still kept trying to make it happen. And in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake on my part. But we learn and we move on. That's just the best thing you can do, realistically. And I know this has been a pretty short one, but I think that's gonna be it for this one. Didn't get much done, but this is a good start. Maybe I can continue it in the next video. But I just wanted to, you know, touch upon that topic really quickly. And I think it fully, like, it pains me to see other people going through the same things as me, and I understand. If you're feeling the same way, then I understand you, and I get it. Because I've been there too. So that being said, mental drain's a pretty bad thing, and can really affect you. But the best things that you can probably do is to talk to your friends or just someone you trust. And even if it's not about the topics that are draining you, it can help just people with positive energy. But I think that's gonna be it. So see ya.